It's reported that I probably should have had you take that screenshot that you gave me. That the Rooney Rule was broken by which team was it now?
Was it broken?
Well, I think that's what the lawsuit is coming from.
Is it by the Giants?
By the Giants. So Belichik apparently sent Flores some text messages that he thought he was sending to Dabo about him being accepted for the job, and he was actually sent it to Brian Flores, and so he apparently it has upset Brian, as it rightfully should, because the Rooney Rule used to say that you had to interview one non-white coach, one African American for those positions. Well, it changed. The rule changed this year that you have to interview two non-white.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they did. So a lot of people saying, well, no, they met the Rooney Rule because they had interviewed Leslie Frazier for the spot, which they did, but they didn't have the second one come in, which was going to be Brian Flores. And so he's reading it saying to Belichik that Belichik basically said they were going with Dabo. He was congratulating him for the job. And he's like, well, hold on a second. Now in hindsight, so they're saying they already made the decision before he actually came in for his interview. Hint, the Rooney Rule has been put in, it's been a lot of years now. I don't think the number of coaches, African-American head coaches or coordinators has actually gone up at all. And we can look at that. And so he's saying, all right, what are we doing? They're going to hire who they want to hire. I know we need to try to help each other and try to give some people some opportunities. But if it's just this, if something like this is happening where you're saying, hey, we're just going to bring the guy in. This is our guy, but we got to meet these guidelines or meeting these quotas on bringing in minorities. Again, doesn't have to be black, but some type of minority person in here. Why are we wasting people's time? Could get kind of ugly pretty fast, I would imagine, because someone's got JT. What do we say? Somebody's got some splaining to do. So I don't know how you feel it, JT. I know you.
Is the NFL ever really in trouble?
Well, are the Giants
in
trouble? Who has to be held accountable if this really if the Rooney Rule was broke? Okay, all speculation.
If the Rooney Rule was broken, then the Giants should be held responsible. However,
what is that? A draft pick, $200,000.
That's what I'm saying. However, it's not going to happen. I mean, Dan Snyder's still the owner of football team, so I don't, because the owner would be the one that would have to suffer the consequences, whatever those are. But that would require the other 31 owners to approve whatever punishment it is for that owner. And nobody wants to do that. That's why Dan Snyder still owns the football team. Because they, as much as, we want to, Goodell has his own fights and problems that he has with the way that he arbitrarily hands out decisions or whatnot. But at the end of the day, his bosses are the 32 NFL owners, and he can't levy any punishment against his boss without the other 31 owners, the other 31 bosses telling him that he can do so. And they're not going to do that. And they just do whatever they want to because they can. Like, who's going to tell them no?
Yeah, it's just a black eye. If it's true, I don't know. I'm not saying, but if it's true, that's like it's just a black eye. What do you do next year? him or any other uh, minority coach, and you're on this list, then you're just second guessing, like, especially if you're the fifth interviewee or sixth or whatever, and you're going, all right, now you're picking up the phone like, all right, am I meeting a quota here, or are we
Mhm. Well, I mean, this is
you know.
I really kind of think that when we went back to when we were talking about Mike Tomlin being asked if he was going to go to any of these college jobs, I think really in the back of his mind when he was like, "Yeah, there's no booster with the big enough blank check," what he was really saying was, if I go to college and it ends up not going great and I get fired, like there's a very close to zero chance that I might get another head coaching gig
Back in here.
because I mean, I'm sure Mike Tomlin probably like if Mike Tomlin just decided to leave, I'm sure Mike Tomlin would get another one. But in the grand scheme of things, he's like, it probably won't be with the Steelers, and I'm gonna have to fight and do all these extra things and more hurdles that I got to go through to get back.
Again. Yep. And I think you're right about that. Very, very good point. And it's sad, that to me in this point, and I know it's touchy, and these are those hot buttons where people hit stuff about whatever, about the race relations and what does the NFL look like with the number of African Americans in it versus the number of coaches and all that kind of stuff. Man, shoot, it's a very tough situation, a sticky situation. If something like this is deemed to be true, it definitely doesn't make it any better. But I've always said I didn't like the Rooney Rule. I didn't like it whatsoever, because I think people were just being pawned just to come in and do an interview and never had a chance. And if this is the case, somebody got to, I don't know what you do. I didn't get down through the rules on what penalties are, but man, that's just